Hello and welcome to Game Time. You know me, I'm your host Jackie, and today you're in luck because we have another edition of Jackie at the Movies, where I review film and television masterpieces that are based on gaming. And today we've got a real treat for you because I'm reviewing the pilot episode of the hit television series Video Game High School. So the series starts off with a bang, with a state-of-the-art logo that looks like it's from the future, something so slick it is, and definitely not looking like it's from 1998's version of Microsoft Word clip art roster or nothing like that. But then it really starts off with a real bang when we see a shootout of army men shooting each other with machine guns like this. But instead of dying, they just turn like a shimmery blue digitally color, like, which makes me think, hold on a sec. Is this a video game? But hold on, someone's missing. It's Brian D, and he's late for the video game shootout match.
Where's Brian D?
And to make him even later, a couple generic milk-drinking bullies are standing in his way.
What do you guys want already?
And they're bullying him like crazy, and they call him an FPS twitcher, which I don't know what that means. All I know is Brian D is an underdog because underdogs are always getting violenced against by bullies. Take it from me, a reliable source. So then we see this guy called The Law, who's supposed to be this like big celebrity famous gamer who everybody goes crazy for, or at least a thin crowd of about 13 people go crazy for him outside of this live TV show that he's supposed to be a guest on. So we see Brian D finally get let off the hook by those bullies who, as it turns out, ride a flying tandem bicycle, and let me just say the graphics here are stunning. So Brian D joins all of his friends in the Army Men shooting video game, finally, okay? But then all of a sudden, The Law somehow barges in on that game and starts killing everybody. He did what's called pub stomping, where you just hack into a random game server and show up.
That's incredible, right? I still feel that rush all the time.
And you know what? He's so sadistic and he's so full of himself, and I hate him so bad. But guess what? The Law finally meets his match when he runs into Brian D. Brian D kills him really bad in the game in what they're calling a pub stomp gone wrong. And the whole world saw it on TV. And now, Brian D is an even bigger gaming celeb than The Law, and they're calling it the frag of the century. What is frag? Just kidding, I know what frag is, just testing to see if you know that. Anyhow, Brian D's newfound gaming status gets him an invite to the elite Video Game High School, a high school whose students go on to make millions in pro gaming. Huge opportunity for underdog Brian D. So Brian D packs up his whole life and heads out for his new school. And this is where we get to see the prestigious campus of VGHS. And it's like nothing you could ever even imagine, unless you've seen the inner courtyard of a business park before. But here's the snag. The headmaster of Video Game High School doesn't really like Brian D very much because by default, Brian D is like the lowest ranked gamer at the school. But it doesn't even matter because Brian D suddenly meets all these cool gamer girls who also happen to be beach blonde, bikini, smoking hot beach babes. What else is new? And then we encounter some more bullying, some run-of-the-mill gut punching with an electric guitar, pretty pedestrian stuff. But then the bullies take it to the computers and they challenge Brian D to a shooting video game match again, like this. But the whole school is watching. A lot riding on this, Brian D. Like, for example, your reputation. But don't worry, Brian D won the shootout match, so everything's okay. But he's still feeling like an imposter at Video Game High School with his crummy old computer and his shit old keyboard and mouse and all that. And just when he's feeling his lowest, who comes along to give him a friendly pep talk? It's The Law.
We meet at last.
He's so much nicer and more down to earth than he seemed at first, and he's giving Brian D a really encouraging heart-to-heart. But wait, twist, he didn't really mean it. It's all a big psych. He's actually bad still. To conclude the episode, the law trashes Brian D's gear, and he makes it very clear that he will be making Brian D's life a living hell at Video Game High School. Oh my gosh, I really let my guard down for a second there, and I'm really paying for it now, startle-wise. Okay, time for my review. I thought that Video Game High School was a slick, high-budget romp into the world of video gaming and violent bullying. Not, I actually thought it was very awful and quite boring, and I felt older and more confused with literally every minute that went by. See what I did there? I acted one way, and then I immediately acted the polar opposite way. I'm just like the Law, the iconic antagonist from Video Game High School, who's sure to go down in history as film and television's most nuanced and memorable characters. Not! See, I did it again. Now, here are some problems I had with Video Game High School. Number one, why is it that every time there's a gaming movie or TV show, the girl that's so hot in it is always blonde, blonde, blonde? Don't they know that there's some gamer girls out there that are really hot too, that are brown hair but then have blonde highlights in them too? Another thing, why is he called Brian D? There's literally no other Brians in the show at all, so couldn't he have just been called Brian? Nothing? Just Brian? Who knows, maybe another Brian will show up later in the series, and I don't know, maybe that's worth hanging on for. So what do you guys think? Did I sell you on Video Game High School? Are you thirsty for more drama from Video Game High School, or have you already had enough? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching Game Time.